welcome back. So far what we've done is we have put in some video and audio into our timeline. We've taken it from our bin, we've made some changes, or we've sort of selected the length we wanted up in our source monitor, then we've dragged and dropped it down here. We've also trimmed up some audio on the actual timeline as well. We popped in a transition here over our coffee beans, and what we want to do in this video is have a quick look at how we can also, say, add in some text, and then we're going to also export our video. So we're going to switch across to the graphics context up the top here, and we're going to have a look over on the right hand side here. You can see that Premiere Pro has got a heap of different templates that are sort of pre-ready for you to use, and they've got stacks and stacks and stacks, and we're not going to look at all of them. We're going to come down here a little bit, and we're just going to find one that is suitable for adding some text into our video as it stands. So we might grab this one here. All right, we'll just click and hold, drag it out, and we're going to drop it onto our coffee timeline just there. Okay, and you can see now that that's showing up on top of our coffee. Actually, what I might do is just Command Z, and I'm going to drop it not on the coffee itself. Sorry, this is running really, really slow. I'm not going to drop it on the coffee itself. I'm actually going to drag and drop it above the coffee. There we go, that's better. So now we can see our text is appearing above our coffee video. And we can edit that by double clicking. And you can see over here, it brings up our editing options, and we've got some different options, very, very similar to the sorts of things you might find in Word, just a little bit pared back. So, for example, we can change the font family, we can choose it to be regular or italics, we can center it, left align, so on and so forth. We can do a few other sort of text changes. We can make superscript and subscript text, and of course we can change the color and the feel of that as well. So what we want to do is just change the actual layout of this. So you can see that we have three things sandwiched together to make this particular piece of text. We've got a shape, which is the top line, we've got some text, and then we've got the bottom line. So we can change the text in a number of ways. We can double click on it over here, or we can also double click on it just here. And I'll do that. And if I now type, let's just do it. Coffee. You can see our shapes automatically resized to keep up with it. And then what we might do is select all of that text. So I'm just triple clicking there. And we might just change the size of it to be slightly larger. I've just got to find where we change the size. Let's see it, maybe, there we go. All right. So it will way too big. Let's just grab it to maybe there. So what's that? It's gone about 167. Okay, so that's made that a bit larger as well. And now when we play our video, if I just move the timeline back here, press space bar, you can see that's now playing. Oh, that actually grew. Okay, that's my home. All right, so there you go. So that's how we can have our coffee text, or sorry, some text apply to our film as well. Okay, the last thing we want to do, and we will do it in this video, is we want to actually export this. So the quickest way to export something is making sure that your timeline panel is selected, and mine is because I've got that blue outline. You can push Control M, so that's M for Mary. And this brings up a export settings dialog box, and this is where we can just change a couple of things. So we can double click on the output name here and just make sure it's going to a spot where we want it to go. Now I'm going to my desktop, which is fine. It's called Mountains, which again for this particular instance is fine. And so I'm just going to save it. It's an MP4, which is great. So I'll save that. And then I'm going to click Q. I'm not going to click Export. I'm going to click on Q. And what that does is it opens up the Adobe Media, I can't remember the correct name, the Adobe Media encoder, there we go. And what that is, it's an application that's really great for encoding all different types of media. And we're going to export it from there. The reason is because what we can do is we can actually set, if we've got lots of videos that we want, we can actually set them to queue within the Adobe Media encoder, and here that is opening up now. So we can queue everything down here, and when we push play, it will actually encode the entire list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push play, then I'm going to pause the video just while it encodes, and then I'll show you where that goes. So here we go, let's just play this. You can see it's just sort of starting the encoding, and I will just pause and then I'll come back once this has done its exporting. Okay, so that's just finished its export. So what we can do is we can highlight this by clicking up here and just delete that video. We don't need it there anymore in the media encoder, and we don't need the media encoder, so I'm going to quit that. And I'm also going to just minimize Premiere Pro, and you can see here that our Marathons video has exported to the desktop. And if I double click that, it'll open it up in my media player, and I can then play that as a video, and I'll just scrub through that. So we should see pretty soon our transition. There it is. Our coffee beans with that sepia effect on it. The text will show up pretty soon. There it is. And then it will just end like that. Okay, so there you go. That's just a very, very quick introduction to some of the things you need for Premiere Pro for this particular task. Hopefully it will help you out. Don't forget there's stacks of other stuff, stacks of other things that we can do with Premiere Pro. This is literally just scraping the tip of the iceberg. All right, so I'll aim to add more as we work through different tasks and different situations, but hopefully for now, this has helped you out a lot. All right.